Hey, Tony Gasson's here now. My phone gonna cut off in 20 minutes. I got an alarm set. I actually was just filming on this and for 4 minutes and my alarm went off. Did not know I had that alarm set, but I was supposed to be taking a nap. The day my 42nd birthday. If you got my phone number now, send me a Zelle. The person to email, send me a Zelle. But 42 today and I'm feeling it because I'm tired. I need a midday nap. I might be going to go through perimenopause while you're playing. And so working with all these women, I might have perimenopause now. And so listen to me. Shout out to you. Want to touch on this here situation because, and in all transparency, I know Dwight personally. I have not talked to Dwight in probably 10 years. When I worked in the NBA as a team life coach, it was Dwight Howard's team that I worked with. It was Dwight Howard and James Harden and the crew. And toughest job I've ever had as a life coach, working with men who are under the age of 30, earning more than $30 million a year. Hardest thing you ever gonna do, try to get through to them. Now, before we get into this, make sure you click the links in the description. Miami, Florida, get down to Miami. March 14th, we got an event. The link is in the description. Grab your ticket. San Diego, I got 4 shows out there in San Diego. Just State of the Union talks. Grab a ticket, all 4 of them if you want to. And Dallas is April 18th. Grab a ticket. All of Texas, because I ain't got Houston on the book. So all of Texas, grab your ticket. But I want to touch on this now. Here's the thing. Of course, I can't speak on client confidentiality or any of me and Dwight Howard conversations or anything like that. But the public knowledge is a guy came out on Twitter, released some voice notes or recorded calls of him and Dwight. He basically was saying him and Dwight was dating, and he was mad at Dwight for going to some kind of cisgender party or gay party or something like that, and possibly cheating on him, and Dwight was telling him he not cheating on him. That's public knowledge. Another thing happened that I saw online was a guy tried to sue him for SA, and then publicly known to have 5 or 6 baby moms. One of the baby moms mysteriously or unexpectedly passed away. And so all that right there is public knowledge. That he is bisexual, which I did not know. I did not know that when I worked with him. Had no clue. I thought I could pick up on that, but it just lets you know that it's not always. Well, I kind of assumed, but just thought I was maybe tripping. And then when it came out, I had a newfound respect for, not a newfound, but for discernment and the Holy Spirit. And just to know that the Holy Spirit is actually with me and on me, because, he never tried me. And so that's one of them things where you kind of like, but I mean, the guys like that, they try to say they not attracted to everybody and they don't mess with everybody or whatever. I also feel like if you got a pure spirit on you and you got a certain type of spirit, they know who will go and who won't. They know who get down like that and who don't when they got that on them. And so one of those things. And his wife, I don't know who she is. Somebody sent me the video. She got a big following, over 700,000 Instagram followers, which is a lot. So she does something. I don't know what she does or who she is, but she does something. And I seen people in her comments saying you should have stayed with such and such. You'd have been better off marrying such and such. And so I'm guessing that's somebody. Don't know who that is. But what I want you to pull from this situation is, do not ignore the red flags. Don't ignore the signs. You see the signs. You got to read the signs. You have to adhere to the signs. If you see it says cliff ahead, turn around, why would you continue driving forward when it says cliff ahead? You gotta recognize the signs. You gotta pay attention to the signs. And you can't let your lust for fame or your lust for love or your lust for marriage or your lust for money or your lust for sex or whatever it may be, you can't let that cloud your judgment and make you do something that you know you shouldn't be doing. And it's a thing to where you have to realize that if a man, getting with a man with more than 3 or 4, even more than 2 baby moms, you're gonna have some issues. Unless he is actively changing and making the change and you can see the change in him is evident and you date him long enough to see him make that change, you're gonna have some pretty big issues. You're gonna go through some stuff. And then you take and add somebody who'd have made millions of dollars. And then let's say by the time the wife got with him, he had developed smoker's lips. When I worked with him in 2015, 2016 with his team, he didn't have smoker lips. He didn't have smoker lips. He didn't have tattoos. Dwight Howard had no tattoos, no smoker lips. I don't know what it is he went through, but after he stopped talking to me and I stopped working with his team and he went to another team, man, his life went down bad. His life went down bad. And maybe that was God, like put me with his team to try to help him out. But after we stopped talking and all of that right there, man, that's when all of these tattoos came. And at this time, typically if you want tattoos, you start at 18. He go to getting tattoos in his 30s. And then not just tattoos, not just like a little fine line scribble scrabble, but like full sleeves. And I'm like, wow. So it's almost like his brain started to be re-altered. But then here she is on live, or not on video or whatever, and she's showing cocaine, saying that he's addicted to cocaine and that it's ruining his life. So now she's doing a tell-all, but it's like, ma'am, you're an adult. You knew he was a hot mess, and you decided to get with him anyways. It's hard to feel sorry for you. It's different if you're 15, 16 years old and you get seduced, but you are a grown, able-bodied, able-minded adult, and you see this person who is living a wreck of a life with a gazillion baby moms, all these allegations. His ex is making all of these allegations, saying all of this stuff about him, and you still proceed. It's like you don't have to judge them. Yeah, you ain't got to judge them, but don't be with them. And that's when like, hey, you need to be doing something in the service industry. You need to be doing something where you loving on somebody, serving somebody, work with young girls, work with young boys, whatever it is, but don't set yourself up for failure. You cannot go into a lion's den, and it's a lion's den. Lion's den. Don't feed the lions. Lions are dangerous. Stay away from the cage. Don't put your hand in the cage. You can't go in the lion's den and expect to turn a lion into your lapdog. And that is what women is trying to do. Women trying to fix men so you can have somebody. And you don't want to do that. Like a mosquito got in here. You don't want to do that. You can't fix nobody. Y'all forgive me. Look like a mosquito got in here. You can't fix nobody. This is grown men. You can't go about it like that. It's a grown man. You don't know him. You don't know his demons. And just even dating, you should always date a man for at least 12 months. And in that 12 months, what you watching for, you looking for that through line. Like you looking to see, you paying attention and you looking to see like, okay, what do he have going on? You see a man smoke weed, you see a man snort a little line, you know that stuff gonna get out of hand. That stuff is gonna catch up with you. And like, it's a lot of nastiness out there. So if you know, like, as a woman, why would you directly be with a bisexual man? Like, that already lets you know that his identity is confused. He has a confused identity because he don't know which one to be, whether he want to be straight or whether he want to be gay. So he call it bisexual, and he like transgenders. That is a clear sign of mental health issues. And so now she talking about he got these mental health issues. He losing his life. People don't want to help him because he got money. So they just kind of like babying him and calling him whatever. And see, that's one thing I ain't do. That's one thing I ain't do. But I'm going to tell you, hey, I'm going to call a spade. But I'm straight all the way up. And I think that's what he learned about me, that I'm not your yes man. I'm not your do boy. Like, I'm going to tell you like it is. And that's really the main reason that we fell out, because I wouldn't do what he wanted me to do. Wasn't nothing sexual, nothing like that now. Just talking about, like, as far as matchmaking and all of that right there, and me vouching and saying stuff. I let him know, I let every man know, I'm not gonna lie for you. If I introduce you to a woman who looks up to me and she a client, and you tell me you ready to be a husband or whatever, and it comes out that you not, I'm gonna tell her to leave you. If I find out you cheating on her, I'm gonna tell her you cheating on her. I'm not gonna vouch for you. Like, this ain't no bros before such and such, because I don't deal with those such and suches. I don't deal with that. Like, I take this serious. Like, I see women as my sister, my daughter, my cousin, my auntie, whatever. My birthday is today, which is International Women's Day. Go figure. So I've done too much damage in my life to be an accessory to more damage. And so I'm always straight up with guys, and I let them know what the IS is. I don't play the radio. You hear me? And so it's one of those things to where it just is what it is. And so if somebody not gonna listen, they not gonna grow, they not gonna change, they not working on themselves, I'm gonna go on about my business. And I ain't gonna lie for you. I ain't gonna cap and rap for you. I ain't gonna do it. And so it was stuff that transpired, stuff that, I'd rather not speak on, and all of that, just all that run-of-the-mill stuff. And so it was like, then all this stuff started to come out. And then that's when I started to look at it like, boy, touch not his anointed, do it profit no harm. When stuff try to, then stuff go to happening, it's like, whoa. And then here go this sister. So I'm gonna tell you, the sister, his wife, she got her fair share of problems. And if you see this sister, you need to reach out to me. We need to talk. And I'll be real with you. I'll tell you what it is, but you got to have some accountability. You got to confess, and you got to, and this ain't just to her, this to every single man or woman who get with somebody for the wrong reasons. You have to get that slap in the face. Not no slap on the wrist. You got to get that slap in the face. You got to eat that. What life give you, that slap in your face, you got to eat that. You got to love that. And then you got to learn from it, and you got to move forward with your life. You got to move forward with your life, because the thing about it is, who you end up with is a reflection of you. If you settle for somebody, you settle with somebody, that's your reflection. What they good, they bad, and they ugly, that is your reflection. Point blank, period. Because spirits are with like spirits. A spirit that repels or repulses your spirit, you're not gonna go into a marriage with that spirit. When you marry somebody, at that time, you have the same spirit they got. Or you have a weaker spirit, and their spirit has seduced your spirit. You can heal, you can grow, you can learn, you can change. But you got to understand who you were and where you were when you agreed to be with that type of person. And that's what you got to understand. And once you can admit to that, now you can start to grow. Now you can start to heal. Now you can start to change. I never forget when I saw a picture of him and her and talking about they were getting married, and people saying they about to be in a lavender marriage. And I'm like, wow. Like, I don't want to have nothing to do with lavender. Like, as a grown, musky man, I don't have nothing to do with no lavender. It's like the best I'm finna do is cerulean blue. But I ain't finna, no, lavender, Not mauve, not lavender, none of that. Pink, none of that. And so I was like, what's a lavender marriage? And my wife, I was talking to her the other day, and she was like, you remember that we would be watching the game when you wasn't out there, and the game would end, and like 5 minutes later, your phone ringing from the player? And I was like, man, I had forgot about that. So we looking back, we like, what's going on now? Hold on, what's going on now? Hello, And so listen, so you see all this right here. I can't say everything I'm thinking. That's why I had the video in the Blessed Tribe Unfiltered. But you got to realize and understand, like, this thing real out here. And you're gonna get your time. And here's the thing, it's just like Andrew Gillum, who was the guy in Florida, and all that stuff come out about him. And it's like other prominent people you might meet. It might, huh? You wearing that? No, I ain't wearing this. Boy, I step out clean, huh? It's 12:50. Yeah, we leaving at 1. Yeah, where you gonna be ready? I already got clothes. Oh, okay. I'm probably wear what I had on. I got you. And it might be a prominent figure. It might be a pastor. It might be a lawyer. It might be a commissioner. It might be just somebody in your city. You know, I got to go. This my father-in-law calling me.